Yo guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. It's episode number 10. And today we're returning with two big games with Torino as we face Sandro Tonali's Inter Milan at home as he returns to the Rigamonti, and then Torino away as well. We also signed two Wonderkids to replace Tonali, but of course I know you'll want to see what happened in that deal. So before I show what's going on camera and get to the games, I'll show you what happened with Sandro Tonali on deadline day. So, of course, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen this go down live, if you will. Yes, on transfer deadline day, Inter Milan put in a bid of 41.5 mil for Sandro Tonali, and as I had been discussing in the recent episodes, due to that being his minimum fee release clause, the Brescia board accepted it on our behalf, and we simply could not turn it down. So yes, Tonali has finally gone. He has gone to the San Siro, and to be honest, it was going to happen eventually. It was just a case of how long could we keep him at Brescia. At some point he was going to leave. He was never going to stay longer than two, at the very, very most 3 seasons, and that would only be if we could somehow get into Europe, which quite frankly wasn't going to happen. Tonali is way too good for Brescia Football Club, so of course he was going to go at some point. And Real Madrid put in a knockoff bid, as did Spurs, as did AC Milan. I was waiting for someone to just go out and say, do you know what, we got 41.5 mil, he's worth 41.5 mil, of course he's worth more than 41.5 mil, and Inter Milan did that in the end. I did try and negotiate a new contract with him, but of course he wasn't going to accept it or even talk to me. So yep, Sandro went, he's off to the San Siro. He's hit the ground running with 2 goals in 5 games already there, and I never got a chance to say goodbye to him. He just left. Normally you can say, like, make a parting comment and say thanks for all your service, come back soon one day, and normally a player will say to me, I'll never come back whilst you're still manager. But no, I didn't even get the chance to. He just packed his bags and left in the night. It would have been too harsh. He knows we would have both been in tears. I'm still in his favoured personnel, and who knows, maybe he'll come back one day. Of course, he's got the homegrown trained club status with Brescia, but yeah, Tonali finally gone, 41.5 mil. He's gone to Inter, but the players we've replaced him with, my goodness gracious me. So with 41.5 mil added to our bank balance, we then had a budget of around 37 million pounds to play with on transfer deadline day. And whilst there weren't too many amazing deals available, there were 2 really good Wonderkids, and I snapped them both up. And I said to Inter Milan, you take one of our Wonderkids, we'll take 2 of yours. So we signed Sebastiano Esposito on transfer deadline day from Inter Milan. If you play Football Manager this year, you've almost definitely came across him at some point. He's one of the best young European strikers in the game. He is just 18 years old, only turned 18 at the start of July. And as you can see by his stats here, looks absolutely fantastic. Goals last season weren't our biggest concern. We were the 6th lowest scorers in the division. They weren't the biggest concern. As I said before, we didn't have a consistent, reliable goal scorer. Balotelli's our top scorer with 6 or 7, I think it was, and most came from the spot. But Inter Milan let him go to us on a permanent deal for £14 million on transfer deadline day. Last year was out on loan at Cagliari and scored 11 goals in 23 games, helping them survive in the Serie A, averaging a 7.09, and doing that at 17 years old, incredibly impressive. We signed for us a £14 million. It's a flat fee. There's no clauses or anything like that. It's a 5-year deal, 30 grand a week. What you'll notice with him and with the other Wonderkid we signed as well, there are once again minimum fee release clauses, which sadly were non-negotiable. The agent added these in and we were unable to take them out. So it's 51 mil minimum fee release clause for clubs in Champions League. If we get relegated, it's a 25.5 minimum fee release clause there. But yeah, 30 grand a week, 5-year deal, and his stats are amazing. I love the fact he's got a resolute personality as well. And this guy could become one of the deadliest strikers in Europe. So to have him here, absolutely buzz him. And we also signed his mate as well, Eddie Salcedo from Inter Milan, also signed on transfer deadline day as well for a deal of £13 million. We lost Tonali for 41.5 mil, and we signed Salcedo and Esposito for 27 million. And whilst he's not exactly hit the ground running here, no doubt about that, he's had a poor season with Hellas Verona last year, only 2 goals in 12 games in the Serie A. He, like Esposito, has a hell of a lot of potential. He's already good enough to be in the first team. I personally, with his range of stats as well, he'd be more suited to playing as an inside forward on the left-hand side with the dribbling, the first touch, the technique and the flair as well. But regardless, he is naturally a striker by trade despite the 12 finishing. Maybe that's why he's had a low returning goals right now. He's only 19 years old. He only turned 19 at the start of the month as well. And like Esposito, he's a quick striker. He's got great stamina, decent fitness, all round pretty decent physically. Again, mentally, really decent for such a young player. And technically, too, some very nice base stats as well. So Esposito and Salcedo, the Inter Milan boys, now linking up here at the Rigamonti. And we might have lost Tonali. We're gutted about that. I made him captain, and this is how he repays me. But we can't really blame him for going to a club which he's more suited to. And Salcedo and Esposito are in to replace him as two young wonder kids. So in the end, as you can see in the summer window, after the massive sale of Sandro Tonali, we still made a profit. You know how much I love this. And you can see by our finances here, we got £38 million in the budget right now. There's still £7 million remaining if we want to make some moves in January. But when you look at our wage bill right now, this is the big concern for me. We are spending a ridiculous amount on player wages, and that's why, as the season goes on, our bank balance will continue to drop a little bit because we've got more expenditure than income. Regardless, I've got to say, despite losing Tonali, I couldn't really have asked for two better players to come in. Two really decent wonder kids, both strikers, both worked with each other before. And again, because we signed them at such a young age as well, they were both 18 at the time of bringing them in. I've said this before, it's really crucial to have as many players as possible that are trained by the club. And when you sign a player that's 18 or younger, if you keep them at your club and you don't loan them out, they will eventually get the homegrown status trained by Brescia or trained by your club. So whilst right now it says Esposito is trained by Inter Milan, in 3 years' time, as long as you don't loan him out, it will say club trained at Brescia as well as Inter Milan as well. And that's really crucial for European squad registration. So Salcedo and Esposito in to replace Tonali. Gutted to lose the captain, but two great wonderkid strikers coming in. And as I'll show you the run off camera on the back of the season opener, the 1-0 victory against newly promoted Frosinone. There were 6 games in this run, and as you can see, the run has been poor, but certainly could have been worse by Brescia's standards, that's for sure. And we start off with a 2-1 loss at home to Napoli. And the common theme you'll hear me saying throughout this run as well is that we deserved more, including in this game as well against Napoli. Lost this game by 2 goals, won in our first home game of the season. De Pauli scored his first goal for the club, making it 1-0 in the 29th minute. But 2 minutes afterwards, Napoli got back on level terms. We were holding on and clinging on to the point right towards the end of the game. But Lorenzo Insigne popped up with a header to win the game for Napoli late on, as unfortunately did throw away the point right towards the end, but really we deserved one. And following that, a 2-1 loss away against Atalanta as well. De Pauli, second goal in 2 games, involved in all 3 of our first goals of the season after setting up the first one against Frosinone as well. Made it 1-0, but a minute afterwards, a bit of a howler from Mola allowed Wilson to make it 1-1, and Ilicic made it 2-1 just a few minutes later as we lost back-to-back. Following that, a goalless draw at home to Fiorentina. Big long-term injury for Nicola Mura. I'll get into that in just a moment's time, but a 0-0 draw there. And after that, a game where again we deserved more, and we definitely should have won this game as well. We lost away against Cagliari by 3-2. Sebastiano Esposito scoring against the side he was on loan at last year for his first goal for his new club. That always happens in FM, man. A player always scores against his former team. So we made it 1-0, getting off the mark as a Brescia player for the first time. Then Cagliari flipped the script. They got back on level terms. Then they got in front right before the break. And in the second half, despite Picardi scoring an absolutely bizarre first goal for the club, the 17-year-old off the mark, we had a couple of great chances to win the game. Esposito missed a sitter towards the end that would have won it, and a couple minutes later Cagliari banged one in from range to win it by 3-2. But you would have seen with the stats on the screen as well. We deserved to win this game, man. We had 3 clear-cut chances, dominated possession. How we didn't win, I don't know, but I knew the next win was going to come at some point soon because we were playing well. We just needed to rubber the green, and in the following game we beat Udinese by 2-0. Once again, Picardi. I mean, seriously, I don't know how on earth he claimed these 2 goals, but he did. This one should never have been his goal. It was going way wide of the post, took a massive deflection and went into the back of the net, but he claimed it. He made it 1-0. And then 5 minutes before the break, the guy did it again. Fabio De Pauli, this right wing back we signed from Sampdoria in the summer. I said on Twitter last night, he gives me Jason vibes. For those who watch my Cardiff save, he gives me Jason vibes. I'm not saying he's the same sort of player because there'll never be another Jason, but this guy, man, the way he struck that ball in, so clean, so crisp. 2-0, and finally back to winning ways. We certainly deserved it there. And already our 3rd clean sheet in 6 games as well. Very impressive considering last season, but this is the one game where I couldn't say we deserve more because we deserve to get beaten by more goals, really. We lost away at the Stade Olimpico against Lazio by 3-1. Shiro Mobley scoring 2 early ones for the hosts, and whilst Mario Balotelli did score his first goal for the season, shock horror, coming from a penalty, we still lost the game by 3-1. Philippe Caicedo scored their third on the hour mark, as we were well and truly beaten there by the far better team. So yeah, 4 defeats in our last 6 games, 1 draw and 1 win as well. Not the best of runs for Brescia, but considering last season we really struggled and stumbled getting out of the gate. When you look at this, 7 games into the season, already 7 points on the board. Currently 3 points clear of Hellas Verona and Empoli in 18th and 19th place. It's not been a bad start, you know, already 2 wins on the board, 8 goals scored already, 10 conceded is not one of the worst in the division. Last year we had the second worst defensive record. This year we're like mid-table in terms of that, so it's not been a bad start for Brescia. There's been a lot of positives. We've been unlucky in a couple of the games as well. We've done okay. And I think that's practically all I wanted to show you in the run off camera. So let's dive right into the first game then, against Inter Milan. Pretty sure we're getting battered in this game, and I'm pretty sure Sandro Tonali is going to score. As I said earlier, you know, when Esposito scored against Cagliari, it is very common for players to score against their former teams in FM, so I'm very confident Tonali will score on his return to the Mario Rigamonti this afternoon. But attending to the game, as you can see, we have had a bit of an injury crisis to start the season off as well, so we really haven't had the luck in this regard either. You've got Armini, who's hobbling a little bit right now, which should be okay to come back for our very next games. On the bench for this one though. But Mangravati, Sabelli and Nicolo Muru are all coming back from injuries. Muru's injury was against Fiorentina. I haven't seen him since then, so he'll be quite tired to play for now and the next game as well. And Donnarumma also a minor injury as well. Bissoli has a long-term injury with a twisted ankle, and Tremolada is damaged crucial. Oh, that was when he was out on loan last year. So we've got 2 long-term injuries and quite a few coming back from injuries too. Desena is suspended as well, so we've got a bit of a problem right now with absentees, but this will be our team for the game. It is the tiki-taka style of play. I've been alternating between the 5-3-2 and the 5-2-1-2 tiki-taka, so I can get Picardi some minutes to start the season off. And this is our team. Molly's in goal. The back 5 is Martella, Sistana, Parola, Magnani and De Pauli, with Viviani and Iglio through the middle of the park. So we've got a bit of a central midfield crisis right now. Picardi is further forward with 2 goals in his last 3 games, and up top together, going to stick with the experienced duo of Patagna and Balotelli. Patagna still yet to get off the mark. Not surprised based on the role I'm playing him in, but he has had some great chances in the run of camera. Sadly, hasn't buried any. On the bench, Alfonso, Armini, Barbieri, Mazzai. This is a young ball midfielder out of the academy. He looks pretty tasty. Morazzi, Morosini, Del Monte, Luis Ignoli, Rocco Salcedo, Esposito, and Rovaglia as well. So first of the 2 as Tonali comes back to the Rigamonti. Chance he scores today, pretty high. Yeah, I'd say the moral victory today is stopping Sandro Tonali from scoring on his return. He's had an amazing start at the San Siro. I'm sure there'll be a warm embrace in the tunnel, but yeah, Tonali's definitely going to score today, and Inter will definitely win as well. You know, again, it's not been that bad of a run for us, but quite frankly, we haven't had a result against a big team since the series began yet. And I don't just mean a win, I mean even a draw. We've lost every single time we face one of the top dogs in the Serie A, so I expect that trend to continue today. First highlight, Inter Milan. Sensei whips in the corner and Lukaku heads over as it is still 0-0. And I've got to say as well, I don't want to jinx it, but defensively, to start the season off, we have been so much better than last season. I really feel the introduction of De Pauli at right wing back, I know Muru's injured for this game, but also Magnani, the centre half as well, has really helped. We've looked so much more secure at the back. And, you know, this guy we got from Sassuolo, I said the red flag with this guy is he didn't play a single game for Sassuolo all season long last year in any competition. But I don't know why. He's a decent defender, I must say. 5 minutes to go in the half, and it's still goalless. All right, okay. We've kept Sandro Tonali quiet so far, and at the moment, we're doing okay. I'm going to say nothing to the boys at the break. We're doing fine right now. Second half to begin. Long way to go, of course, but yeah, we're doing all right. I'll take this every day of the week. Still 0-0. And I might take off Bacardi, who's getting a little bit tired and hasn't played especially well. And oh my word, what a result this will be. Come on. Let's take off Bacardi and let's go ahead and bring on Morosini for a little bit more experience here to try and see out the final 10 minutes. This would be an absolutely solid result. We can hang on to it. Let's burn the clock a little bit more now. Let's bring on Ravaglia for Patagna. Change those two roles around, have him as a pressing forward, and swap Balotelli to a... No, let's keep Balotelli as he is, because he's got Morosini supporting as well. We've got 4 minutes to go, and as things stand, this will be our first result against a big team in the series. But Sandro Tonali fires just wide. Still 0-0. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, no. No. We conceded so many late goals already this season. Magnani heads it away. Oh, my God. No. No. Play it. Play it. Play it. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, I thought we were going to win it. Oh, my word. You know, if... Bury it. Do you know what? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, man. I know we could have just won that game there. We have spurned some golden chances this season already, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Not only did we keep Sandro Tonali quiet, which was the moral victory, we almost got the victory. And a point is a victory in itself, as well as another clean sheet. That's 4 in 8 to start the season off. That's a great result, man. Well done, lads. You've just proved a lot of people wrong in avoiding defeat out there. I thought we'd get battered, absolutely battered. That is our first result against one of the big boys since the series began. That's a cracking result, that. That shows you how bad I am at football manager, doesn't it? I'm celebrating a 0-0 as if we won a cup final. That's a cracking result. Let's hope Torino can beat Hellas Verona there, away from home in Verona as well. That'll keep them in the bottom 3. Because as we remain in 14th place, that's 8 points from our first 8 games. It finishes a draw there, all square. And again, you look at the table right now, Spal are off to a catastrophic start. They're putting up Lecce numbers right now. Well, Lecce at the start of last season with no wins in their first 8 and only a point on the board. It is still very tight here around the bottom of the table, but we're only 8 games into the season, so a long way to go. But either way, there's been a lot of positives with Brescia to start the season off. And again, particularly defensively, I've been really encouraged by how much better we've been at the back this season. So moving on, second and final game. Parma just beaten Hellas Verona in the earlier kickoffs. That's good for us. Because we take on Torino here, a win would do us a massive favour, because that would see us leapfrog several teams and go into 12th place if we can get a victory here away in Turin. Easy said and done. There were just 2 wins to start the season off in our first 8 games. But again, there's been a lot of positives to start the season off. I've been really, really encouraged, and including by using this tactical system as well. The tiki-taka is doing all right for us so far. So 5-3-2, couple of changes to our line. Well, a few changes really, and this will be our team. The back 5 is now Moller in goal, Martella, Sistana, Pirola, Armini coming back in, and De Pauli at right wing back. Viviani and De Sena now play through the middle, with Picardi staying as the advanced playmaker. I really wish his determination would grow up and he'd change that personality as well. I have got him in a mentoring group right now, but sadly it's not doing much good. And up top, the former Inter boys, Salcedo and Esposito, as Eddie still looks for his first goal for the club. And on the bench, Alfonso, Magnani, Muru, Barbieri, Iglio, Mazzai, Morosini, Del Monte, Lucignoli, Rovaglia, Balotelli and Patagna as well. Second and final game, Torino away, and once again I'll be fine with a point and a clean sheet. Certainly wouldn't say no. Forza Brescia. Salcedo's an interesting one, because again with a 12 finishing, I think I've said this before, but you know, for me, I don't really like strikers unless they've got 15 finishing minimum, really. And I know that Teddy Gray in my Norwich save, for those that watched that, only had 14, but he was such a lethal striker. That's mainly because his physical stats are incredible, and he was 6'3" as well. But yeah, 12 finishing on a strike for me is just far too low. Hence why I believe as an inside forward/inverted winger, he'd probably do better for us. Either way, 6 minutes in, first highlight falling here, and it should come to Torino, so to Brescia even. Martella down the left-hand side, whipping one in. And Esposito heads just over. Only one for Esposito to begin his campaign off with Brescia as well, though. Again, it's very, very early days. Free kick one here, though. Martella can strike, and we know that. And a chance to go a goal up. Oh, it's a beauty. Absolute beauty. Nicola Mura coming back to first team football, not fit enough to start though, but Martella, you know, replacing Martella and Sabelli has been so hard for me to do this season, because Sabelli and Martella last season were incredible, but Martella with a goal, 1-0 Brescia, what a free kick. I mean, Muri, with the money he's on right now and the ability he's got, should be a starter in this team. Not match sharp enough to start this one, but Martella as a backup and Sabelli as a backup for De Pauli as well. We have got 4 class wing-backs in this team, man. You'd love to see that. Great ball by Viviani. And speaking of wing-backs, Martella is dispossessed, but wins it straight back, whips one in, headed away, but it'll come to Viviani. Been all Brescia to start the game off, hasn't it? As Picardi finds Desena. Pop it out wide to De Pauli. Look at the space for Fabio down the right-hand side. Now, crossfield to Viviani, into Picardi. Good football. Salcedo. Martella. That's what I mean. And that's what I mean about 12 finishing, man. I guarantee if that's 15 or 16, that nestles into the bottom corner. Instead, it's the frame of the goal, and it's still 1-0. We've been a far better team to start the game off, though. But if Torino get back on level terms, which they've done through Gagliardini, we'll get punished. Common theme for us this season, man, just not taking chances. God damn it, Salcedo. Like, he has got some brilliant base stats, and he's only 19 years old, so the finishing will get better. But, you know, his movement is great. Pacey, agile, good off the ball as well, but just that finishing touch is lacking. Hopefully, will develop over time. But still, 1-1. Look at that dominating possession in this tiki-taka. I'm liking it a lot. And I think we've been unlucky so far as well. Second half to begin, but I will individually criticise Salcedo after the miss. 45 minutes to go. Can definitely win this one here. I think we've been a better team. There's De Pauli on the ball. He's going to slide Esposito down the right. And as he whips one to Picardi, 25 yards from goal, he'll find Martella, our goal scorer. Come on, Bruno. Ah. And this young strike duo, man, I think it's going to be like growing pains with these two, you know. Like, to start off with, it's going to be hurting me seeing them miss so many great chances. But I know at some point they'll start firing them in on a regular basis and be a dream dynamic duo. They've both missed great chances today, still 1-1. We might have lost Sandro Tonali, our talisman, but we have responded well since then as Martella is taken down by Di Silvestri. That is a second yellow card, and now there's a chance to win this. I'm going to up the tempo now and really go at them, run at defence as well. And yeah, let's really go for it now. We've got our defensive lines higher. Let's go for it. See if we can find a winner. Come on, crossfield. There we go. Look at De Pauli and acres of space. Our wing-backs are always in so much space. De Pauli. Yes! Esposito! Second goal of the season, might have just won us the game. Salcedo would have blazed that way over the bar, man. But De Pauli with another assist, man. Nutmegs one, composed, rolls it across to Sebastiano, who tucks it home to the near post. This will be a huge win if we can hold on to it. And already our third in 9 games as well. Almost there. Counting down the seconds and, oh yeah, baby. You know, Sandro Tonali might have gone, but what a response from Brescia, baby. Honestly, man, we have been brilliant this season to start the campaign. Now, 2-1, look at that, our 67% possession. This 5-2-1-2 tiki-taka is working well for us, man. And this has been a really, really great start to the season. That was really special, lads. Nobody gave us a chance, but you played magnificently. Congratulations. And Brescia have now gone into 12th place even in the Serie A. And for our first 9 games, to already have 3 wins, winning a third of them already, and having 2 draws along the way as well. This has been brilliant, man. It's been an amazing start. Long way to go, don't get me wrong, but it's been a fantastic start for Brescia, and even with losing Sandro Tonali, the way we've recovered, the 2 Wonderkids we brought in as well, I gotta say, man, I've been really encouraged by this. Trust the process. And so that went into today's episode of Club and Country, guys. So big thank you, fortunate if you have enjoyed it. And if you did, then please do drop a like. Much love to you. And I'm just thinking, when are we going to come back? What games are we going to come back with here? I think we should gather a little bit more pace here in Season 2 and come back around December time. And I must say, I see a tasty home doubleheader there. At home to Pescara. Could be a very big game, depending what happens in these results here for us. And then Milan at home as well. I think that'll be a really good little tasty doubleheader. So let's do that. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you. And I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.